Oil prices are expected to drop now that Iran will once again be contributing to the world's supply. CNN's Richard Quest joins me now from Davos, Switzerland, for more on this story, where the annual World Economic Forum is just days away from starting. Richard, oil prices have already hit their lowest point since 2003. Once Iran starts increasing its daily export, how much lower could the price go?
And that's the unknown question. How low can it go? And how much of the Iranian increased production is already priced into the market? Now, at around $30, $31 a barrel, everybody said, well, we know sanctions are going to be lifted and Iran's going to be producing oil. But what happened, of course, is there is such a glut of oil in the international market at the moment, maybe up to 1.5 million barrels a day, it's believed. Nearly 2% is in glut supply, that it's pushing prices down. And even if the prices aren't going much further, there is no pressure for prices to go back up again. And that's the problem at the moment. We're certainly not seeing any reason, Lynda, why prices should rise from their current levels. Certainly if this level of supply stays high and demand hasn't fallen off completely, but demand is weak.
But even without pushing prices back up, what's going to help stabilise the prices, given that Iran and Saudi Arabia's relationship is on shaky ground? They have severed diplomatic ties. What do you think the chances are that they will work along with OPEC to get an agreement to stabilise the price?
Well, OPEC was not, I mean, is there going to be an emergency meeting? Will they manage to? The Saudis have made it clear. They're in this for the long haul. We've already seen huge budget cutbacks from the last budget from the Riyadh government. And all their numbers were predicated on $50 a barrel. Now they're having to be redone on $30, $35 a barrel. Saudi is not going to suddenly roll over, having gone so far. However, stability is what everybody is now seeking. And that's why I don't think you're going to suddenly see Iran taking any foolish or risky steps, because the downside is so great. You know, those who forecast $15, $17 a barrel, they may be at the extreme at the moment, but they're starting to move pretty close to the center.
And looking at Iran and the lifting of sanctions, it means Iran will now be able to reconnect with the global banking system and re-establish trade ties. What do you think it will mean for Iran's economy over the coming year?
I don't think you're going to see a huge rush. I mean, you're going to see, obviously, them getting access to the assets that have been frozen, some in the US, mainly in Europe, some in Asia. You're going to see them getting access to that. They'll be able to use that, possibly more than 100 billion, to start buying new spare parts, to reinvigorating, regenerating, resupplying an industry that has been absolutely starved, not only of foreign investment, but of any investment because of the sanctions. But it's going to be gradual. And again, I come back to this idea that the Iranians aren't stupid. They ain't going to suddenly go on a bonanza. They know this has to be a carefully controlled, measured move back into the global economy. But Lynda, one thing they do have to show, and they have to show sooner rather than later, is real benefits to the Iranian people. That will be a priority, and that's where you're going to see it in consumer products. You will see it, obviously, in the sort of companies that are invited into the country.
Okay, excellent analysis there. Richard Quest in beautiful Switzerland. Thank you very much.